Hi, Rory. So we were talking a couple of different things there yesterday, pentatonic scale, and we were looking at dancing in the dark as well. So we'll have a look at dancing in the dark first. All right. So now the chords I wrote down there, obviously there's G, C, A minor as well. You can do them down here by yourself normally, right? But if you want to play along with it, then this because the song is really in the key of B, right? So there's G. So if you take that up, G, G sharp, A, A sharp, B. So we've gone up four, so that means we're putting the capo on the fourth fret. Now, when you're putting the capo on, all right, just make sure so it's the black side that goes across the strings like that, okay? Open it up as wide as you can, all right? Use two hands if you have to, and then just get it on so that it's right behind the fret, same as your fingers, same thing applies. It's going to be parallel, so you don't want it slanted like that or anything. And what can happen as well is when you put it on first, something you might end up with something like that, right? See that there? So if that happens, because it can kind of drag when you're putting it on. So if that happens, just release the tension, give it a squeeze, and then let it back on again. All right, so it's kind of weird in the sense that he just kind of holds that G. He's just kind of hitting it. Well, mind you, there's no real guitar strumming a G. Okay, so as we were talking about, we had the bass guitar and the keyboard is the main thing there. Okay, so but the chords are still the same. So if you just follow the rhythm, follow the beat of it, right? You've just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and every now and then throw in the ups in between those downs. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to do it all the time. You can just sort of throw them in as you feel like it, pretty much. Now I can't remember what it was, but I wrote down the line that he sings before he goes from the G to the C. Now, here, all of a sudden the chord changes kind of speed up a little bit, right? Because you've got four beats on each chord. You've got C, A minor, and you've got four beats, or for this, well, the way we're doing it here, four downs, let's say. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're back to the G again. And then again, I think I wrote out the line, but he changed this to a D as well. Now we hadn't done D so far. So for now, just have a look at the chord on its own first. Let's just get rid of the capo for now. Just deal with the chord more generally. All right, so we've got first finger, second fret, G string, second finger, second fret, E string, then third finger in between the two of them on the third fret. Now remember, same stuff applies, okay? Right up to the fret. Now with D, a lot of the time you might end up putting it on and it'll sort of look like this. This one's right up here, but this one's behind here, and so it's there, but it's not so good. So if you kind of just turn your hand this way a little bit, okay, sort of your palm facing the body of the instrument, then put it down, you'll kind of find that your two fingers go right up to the fret together much more easily, okay? And then, of course, make sure you avoid the E string. Now, when you're practicing a chord, right, what's important is because remember you're never just playing a chord, okay? You're always going from one chord to another chord. So take into account the chord that you're coming at it from, right? So in this case, it's a G going to a D. So get your head around the chord itself by on its own first. But as soon as you even kind of have it, start going from G to D and do it over and over, right? Because having to think through it, and so this finger goes here, this finger goes there. That's never going to be quick enough, right? So the only way you're going to get it quick enough is to do it over and over, so that you just don't have to think about it anymore. And the only way to do that is just repetition again and again. Okay, so see how far you can get playing along with it. Now we did fairly well yesterday. Okay, so pentatonic stuff then. So as I said, just down, up, down, up, down, up a few times. So just go over the scale, nice and steady. Every note should be the same length. Okay, so you don't want this. All right, so if you're doing that, just slow down the other notes. So being steady is way more important than being fast. And then back down. Okay. So then we had a couple of different phrases, okay, the little examples I wrote down for you. So just practice them just to get your fingers moving in that way, okay? So first one, 3rd fret on the 1st string, pull off. Same again on the next string. And on that same string, sliding up, okay? So remember, with the slide, you got to keep the pressure on even as you're dragging it up. Okay? All right, so that was one of them. Another one. Okay, so that's 2nd fret on the D string, pull off, 2nd fret on the A string, pull off, and then a longer note here, drag it up a little bit, boom. And then that E7 chord there, that's 1st fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 5th string. And then there was one more we had. Okay, so even if you're just playing an E minor normally, that's a nice little thing to throw in there. So that's open to 2 on the 5th string, open to 2 on the 4th string, and just strum that E minor then. All right, so that'll do. So a couple more chords next time, but the chords you do know, the main thing is just to kind of keep the rhythm nice and steady, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, steady motion with your hand, and just go from chord to chord to chord to chord, back and forward, over and over and over again, even if you don't feel like it. All right, talk to you next time.